Hey yo, what's up, cuz? Johnny Blue, and you're now watching the Potato Salad Radio Show.
That's
One love.
So you said that your family has been in Nova Scotia. I cannot trace my history and have not tried to actually do that. But you say that you got you can go back 400 years.
We can go back.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about.
We can go back pretty far.
How did your family come to?
One part of my family was loyalists. The other part was escaped slaves brought here by the Underground Railroad.
Really?
My great grandfather came here, married a native woman by the name of Sarah Greencorn.
Native from where? Whereabouts? Where are we in?
We're talking Guysborough area, between Guysborough, Kansas Causeway area, that. The Aboriginals that lived that way.
Yeah.
They did farming in Guysborough, Trackety, those areas. Then emigrated to Halifax, and then emigrated back to New Glasgow. So yeah, my family's been here forever. Excuse me, sorry, man. I know what it's called. My great grandfather. Who you wanted to talk about earlier.
Yeah.
He was born 1892.
1892.
On Halloween. His name was Albert Osborne Williams. His father,
born in New Glasgow?
He was born in Guysborough. Actually, no, I'm a liar. He was born in Halifax and then went back to Guysborough. But actually, his father used to go around with Richard Preston building black churches in this province.
Really?
Yeah.
Richard Preston, who, am I wrong? That's what Preston
is named after.
Namesake?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that being said, as I say, my great-great-grandfather, John, granddad's father, as I say, used to go around Richard Preston building churches.
Building black churches.
And he settled in New Glasgow. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, the Williamses are, there are two sets of Williams families on the black side of things around here.
Sure.
Some of them are from one part of the province, some of them from the other part of the province. But the funny thing is that we're related.
I really think it speaks to, when you hear the wrong history of Nova Scotia, you hear, Acadians, and you hear, Mi'kmaq, and, French and English, and blacks left out of it entirely, right? Usually. But then the idea that, someone would have their work would be traveling around building churches, not just one, but, that was, what you were up to in a province this big. That means there's quite a bustling community, because a church means there's enough people to have a church, and that means there's enough people. So I think that's quite an indication of something that's really just, erased from they try to erase it, is the idea that there was a thriving African Nova Scotian community.
As I say,
I keep flipping terms there, but I figure I'll be wrong with some group one way and then wrong.
You get some phone calls, some emails, homie. People saying that you're wrong. I'm pretty sure a lot of my family is going to be like, "What's this guy talking about?" But as I say, why
are you letting that guy talk?
No, as I say, it's. As I said earlier, man, it's all about legacy. It's not all about a heritage thing or a history thing. It's legacy. This stuff happened. This stuff affected not only me, not only you. It affected everybody that was in the radius. You know what I'm saying?
So
as I say, with my great grandfather, for example, he had a hand in raising me. As I say, he was an old man when I was born, but he passed away when I was 17. My great-grandmother, his wife, they were married for almost 80 years, and she passed away when I was 22. You know what I'm saying?
80 years, wow.
Yeah, man. They were married when they were 18. He died when he was 94. She died when she was 99.
Wow.
And, Nana and Granddad, and I'm sure my mother and my family that's listening to this, they'll know what I'm talking about. As soon as I say Nana and Granddad, they know, they know what I'm talking about. And as I say, when it comes to black tradition, especially indigenous African Nova Scotian tradition, it's customary for the village to raise a child, starting from the eldest of the elders all the way down. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to how I live my life and how I raise my child and how I respect my wife and how I respect you guys and you're my boy, how I respect my friends.
Respect.
This comes from the old. This comes from my great-grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the same man. I told you this before. Frank Sobey was one of his best friends. One of his really, really good friends.
Right.
And back in New Glasgow, in the olden days, in those days, in his time when he was young.
And that would have been early 1900s?
That would have been early 1900s. That would have been we're talking the 20s, after the before the Great Depression.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So back then in New Glasgow and Guysborough.
He ran a trucking business, and basically what I mean by truck is Clydesdales with big giant thing. And that's what they used to call trucks back then.
Right.
And he used to haul garbage, coal, and a whole bunch of different stuff.
Right.
And he used to do a lot for Sobeys. He used to do a lot for the coal mines, the steel mill, all that type of stuff. He was the guy that, for me, I learned the value of keep holding on to stuff and not necessarily being a pack rat or a hoarder, but cherishing the stuff that I got.
Right.
And
Waste not, want not.
But not worrying about the stuff that I don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, my mom will probably email you and say, "Yep, he's right." My great grandfather used to spoil it out of me.
Really?
Like there wasn't a day that I didn't get what I wanted. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, I had to work for what I got. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he taught that, and I'm trying to teach that to my child now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as I say, like for some of the people that'll see this on Facebook or whatever, they know Uncle Albert. The man used to carry around 10 grand with him in cash every day till the last day of his life.
Wow.
If he was a guy that, as I say, he taught us to respect any man that deserves respect, and any man that don't deserve it, you have nothing to do with him.
Do you know if there's a way, because the environment around someone like, I mean, racism's terrible in this province now.
Yeah.
It's not like it was great then.
Oh, it was ridiculous back then.
So do you have any clue as to how he kept such a positive outlook in a way, or was able to? Or was it just I don't let this? Or was it not positive? It was just behind closed doors.
He was positive behind everywhere. I mean, I got to be perfectly honest with you. I saw nothing but beauty from that man,
right.
and from Nana, from my great grandmother, and from my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And from my uncles and aunts, and like all the way down the line, and like my great aunts, like my great grandmother's sisters, lived to be very, when I was very old. My Aunt May, my Aunt Martha. I mean, these people
longevity.
Longevity runs in our family,
Big
but
time.
Love runs in our family, and this is the thing that these people used to show. Now, don't get me wrong;
Maybe.
They didn't necessarily take a Martin Luther King approach and say turn the other cheek.
No.
They fought the battles when they had to be fought.
Sure.
Sometimes they won, sometimes they lost.
Sure.
But they still fought the battle.
Right.
And if they did go down, they went down standing up. And that's one thing that I was taught. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I live my life. You know, as I say, I'm not one of those guys. I'm not no thug. I'm not going to sit there and talk about thug stuff, all that type of stuff. I'm not no thug. But as I say, I'm not nervous by no man. You know what I'm saying? And I respect all men until they show me that they don't deserve it.
Right.
That's how I live my life. I got that from him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is he the guy that wound up driving like a bus around?
No, that's my great uncle Noel H. Johnson.
Okay,
that's my
grandmother's. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Because that's, first of all, I'd like that to come back. That seemed like an awesome idea.
Oh, well, I mean, most schools have that, I think now. I hope they do. I don't know if they teach industrial arts anymore.
I don't think they do. I think that's been cut way back.
You go to NSCC, you can become a welder and stuff.
Sure, but,
but
not at a youth level.
As I say, with Uncle Noel, I mean, back then, he was...
So when was that?
I was into the 50s, into the 60s, into the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
So he had a van, like a bus, like a school bus.
He had a used to call it the shopmobile. And basically what it was is it was a 1950 school bus, which was retrofitted to be an industrial arts classroom. And basically what he would do is go around to different communities, whether it be Hammonds Plains, Preston's, East Preston, Cherrybrook, Windsor. He would go around and teach shop and teach a lot of these people. And there's a lot of people out there now that might even hear this, that owe Unc a lot of love, because he helped him gain a livelihood, helped him gain a career, you know what I'm saying? And that's they didn't you know, there was a lot of segregation back in the schools at those times, you know what I'm saying? Outside of Halifax had its share too, but I mean, as I say, he used to go around and make sure that these people, you know, got the education that they needed so that they could actually, they could be a plumber, they could be a welder, they could be a woodsman, they could be a carpenter, they could be a whole bunch of different things.
Do you think that's an early understanding by your great uncle? Is it great uncle?
He's my great uncle.
Yeah, your great uncle. That economic equality or closer to economic equality would help smooth the road to actual equality, because it was like, if you have some money, then you're not as reliant. Like, you know, if you have a skill and you can, then you sort of can be a bit freer from.
Let's put it this way.
The system in a way. But
let's put it this way. My great grandfather, Unc's father, was an innovator when it came to creating things around here. He created a Masonic temple here. He created the Oddfellows Temple. His brother is James R. Robinson Johnson, who Dalhousie named their law program after. First black lawyer to graduate from Dow Law School, my great uncle. So, you know, basically what I'm saying is, like, when it comes to, and I'm not just saying just our family, I'm saying when it comes to the people of that time, they had such a righteousness, which I think it's been lost in a lot of our people, but they had such a righteousness and measure of self-worth that trickled into everything that they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how they persevered. That's how they got through a lot of different stuff.
Where do you think that came from?